Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Live Ones. I am Big Matt, your capper extraordinaire. The big story today, James O'Keefe strikes the world of sports and ensnares the vice president of content of the Washington Commanders on an undercover video. Just absolutely trashing everybody even remotely associated with football to an undercover reporter who met him on Hinge, went out on a date with him, and got him to absolutely just spill his guts. He says the league's social justice initiatives are completely performative and that no one actually believes in them. Says the NFL rosters are made up of country boys and low-income African Americans and are mostly anti-gay. Most of them are also dumb as rocks. That DEI concerns are about making money in the wake of George Floyd, and most of the owners don't actually believe in it. Most of the fans are high school educated alcoholic mouth breathers, his words, not mine. And that his job for the Commanders was to sell people shit and tell them it's gold. Yeah, obviously he got fired. Fellas, just a word of advice for any younger guys in my audience. I know it's 2024 and a lot of social mores have changed when it comes to dating, but the fact remains, and it doesn't matter your orientation, because O'Keefe has ensnared a lot of homosexual men on these undercover videos, admitting to embarrassing things as well. If you work for a company or an organization in any kind of a politically sensitive sphere, or anything that's in the news a lot, anything that's in the public eye a lot, when you're first getting to know a potential romantic partner, particularly one that found you, that sought you out, assume that person is working you. They're working some kind of angle with you, because there's a really good chance they are. That's just good advice for anyone, really, but particularly people in those types of jobs. Maybe don't air the dirty laundry about the people you work for on the second date. Maybe save that stuff for when you're engaged, at least, married more likely. Just a thought. We went 2-0-1 yesterday for a nice gain, getting back into positive territory for this week. A full slate of baseball to go over tonight. Let's get to it. And we are going to start with the Orioles and the White Sox. There are several different angles I consider when figuring out plays for any sports. A lot of times it involves a lot of very deep number crunching, looking at matchups, looking at X's and O's. But sometimes it really is just situational obviousness, and tonight's one of them. The Orioles have regained the lead in the East over the Yankees, but it's going to be an absolute slugfest heading into the last few weeks of the season. The AL is hyper competitive at the top. Everyone over 500 is in legitimate wildcard contention right now, so there's no guarantee that coming in second in the East will get you a playoff spot. The Orioles need every single win they can get right now, and they're not going to let up just because they happen to be playing the single worst team in the history of baseball. Every win now is a win you don't have to scramble for at the end of the season. While you're on top, you want to stay on top. You want to make sure that the other people still have to leapfrog you. So they're going to play hard. And the White Sox, they've shown nothing at all this entire season to indicate they have the level of pride necessary to buck up and say, we're professionals, we're paid to play ball, let's go out there and give it our all. Orioles have one of the best lineups in baseball. I'm taking them on the run line tonight, -1.5 runs. Second play tonight is another one of the angles I examine when betting baseball, and that's fading terrible pitchers. And they don't come much more terrible this year than Domingo Germán, picked up by the Pirates as a free agent after getting unceremoniously booted from the Yankees last year after being a drunken asshole in the clubhouse. Released by the Pirates in July, but then re-signed again in August as a starter and a long reliever. He's not really panned out. 6.11 ERA thus far this year with the Pirates. He's given up a ton of walks in addition to his runs. This guy, I don't know what's going on with it. He was never a stellar pitcher, but for his first 5 years or so, he was at least serviceable. The Cubs have fallen asleep these first two games with the Pirates, but prior to that, they were red hot in terms of offense for a long time. I think it could be easy against this pitcher to get themselves right again. Give me the Cubs team total over 4.5. I think they're due to get back in the swing of things. And for the last play tonight, we're going to do a rare prop pick for my third and final play on the Tigers and the Padres. We're looking at Yu Darvish, his strikeouts prop. He's making his first start in the major since May 29th due to multiple injuries and a family matter that resulted in a stint on the restricted list. The 38-year-old starter came off of the restricted list in late August before returning to the injured list to finish his minor league rehab for an elbow ailment. He's just been a mess all year. But even before Darvish ended up there, he wasn't going very deep into games. Father Time's just starting to catch up with him. He threw 66 pitches in a simulated game against minor leaguers last Friday. They're not going to risk extending him more than like 3 or 4 innings tonight, I think, when they absolutely need him for a potential deep postseason run. His strikeout prop is 4.5. I'm going under that easily. I just don't think he's going to be in the game long enough to get there. Third and final play for the night. Everyone bet safe, stay safe. Follow us on X at Live One Sports. Check us out on Roku and Fire TV at the Live Ones. Have yourselves a great Wednesday night, and I will see you tomorrow.